for the past nearly 4 months, and if you want to count the writer strike, the past 6 months, we've been in Hollywood hell, where the strikes have partially crippled the industry when it was just the writer strike. And then once the actor strike joined in, that completely crippled the industry. We were supposed to, damn it, Dune 2 is supposed to be in movie theaters right now. Dune 2 is supposed to be in movie theaters right now. It's supposed to come out November 3rd. I should be able to go to a movie theater today and go see Dune 2. Got pushed off.
Just watch Tremors on Max.
Just watch Tremors. It's all the same, giant underground worms. But, and so here we are. A bunch of productions got delayed. Obviously, Deadpool 3 was a big one of those things. And it's been, I'm not going to lie to you, a frickin' clown show watching these two sides trying to get a deal done. But it's done. Last night, official word came that the strike is over. This comes to us from Variety, who writes the following. SAG-AFTRA negotiators have approved a tentative agreement that will end the longest actor strike against the film and TV studios in Hollywood history. The deal will see most minimums increase by 7%, which is a good increase. 2% above the increases received by the Writers Guild of America and the Directors Guild of America. The AMPTP, that's the studios, delivered its quote-unquote last, best, and final offer on Friday, which included increased bonuses for actors who appear on the most-watched streaming shows. The offer did not include a key union priority, which was a share of revenue from each streaming platform. Okay, first of all, glory, glory, hallelujah. This thing is finally done. Of course, the writer strike got settled a while ago. There never was a director strike. And now the actor strike is finally put to bed and put to rest. There's already a mad dash. I heard from several sources yesterday, although this doesn't take a rocket science to figure this out. There is now a mad dash by all the studios to get productions up and running. They're fighting for production space. They're fighting for talent. They're fighting for crews. They're fighting for everything just to get everything back up and running again. Ryan Reynolds was very quick to get online and talk about some stuff as well, but we're going to talk about that in just a moment. And, it comes down to, Kris, I think you remember I said a while ago, I said there are a lot of little issues, but there's two main hurdles, one on each side. The residuals hurdle and the AI hurdle. One side's got to get over it and the other side's got to get over the other one. And I said, once they get past those two, I think we'll get a deal really quick. And sure enough, once they finally got over that last unimaginably idiotic AI thing that the studios were trying to push, we very quickly were able to finally get a deal, and it's done. And a lot of the stuff, the actors that the actors were hoping for, they did get. Remember, the best sign of a good negotiation is when everybody's a little unhappy. That's not that everybody's happy, that everybody's a little unhappy. But I think some really good gains were made by the actors. I think there's some really good security that got picked up by the studios. I think there are some losses and wins on both sides, and that's how a good deal should look like. And they came to a good deal, and I am very, very happy. But Kris, I can't be purely happy. It's not a John Campea day unless there's something I'm unhappy about. And while I am thrilled, and congratulations to the negotiating teams on both sides to getting this deal done, let's move everything forward. With that being said, I kind of mentioned this a little bit when the writer's strike ended, but I'm going to have to say it again now. And again, I'm happy. Strike's over. Yay. Deadpool going back into production. Yay. Happy about all. Okay. Totally am. But while everybody's popping bottles today, including us around on our show, obviously, while everybody in the industry is popping bottles today and all the negotiators on all the sides are patting themselves on the back, I am not going to forget that there was a lot of collateral damage done by this labor dispute. I'm not going to say done by the strike because that makes it sound like it's the actor's fault. This labor dispute. There was a lot of victims of this labor dispute. collateral damage. People who ran, we read stories of people who ran like prop shops, restaurants, services, like all these people, businesses, small businesses, industries that rely on the Hollywood machine working and moving. And we have read so many stories about so many people who have lost their businesses, lost their apartments, lost like tons of money, who had nothing to do with this strike, who had nothing to do with the studios, had nothing to do with being in the Actors Union. It's just that because everything shut down, they got fucked up the ass. And listen, that's going to happen. That is going to happen. It's part of the nature of labor disputes. But there was no reason this thing should have taken nearly 4 months to bring to conclusion. When we sit back and look at the deal terms, there's going to be no excuse. No excuse. And I'm so tired of hearing from people who have never had a real negotiation in their life tell me, well, John, you just don't understand. That's how negotiations work. Fuck off. I worked in civil litigation, okay? Every day was about constant back and forths about trying to get to a thing because everybody understood it's in everybody's best interest to get things settled as quickly as possible, right? This thing went on weeks longer than it needed to because the damn studios wouldn't get off that AI thing. Weeks longer than it needed to. I'm not saying this thing could have been done in 5 days, but I mean, weeks because of that AI thing. This negotiation got pushed back by nearly weeks because the SAG union put in that ridiculous thing about we want X number of monies for every subscriber you have. That was stupid and was never going to happen, and they knew that, and that delayed things. And back and forth, we could probably go over 50 issues on both sides that just delayed this thing unnecessarily. There is no reason that if you have rational adults in the room sitting down, that they couldn't have within a month been able to come to, okay, here's as far as we're willing to go. Here's as far as you're willing to go. Let's play with this a bit. What can we get to? Blah, 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 blah. Because look, the studios hurt, the actors hurt, yes, but I'm more mad for all those people who had nothing to do with this, that lost their businesses or lost their homes or lost whatever giant portion of their revenue for something that had nothing to do with them. So very happy for both sides. I'm glad the studios got some of the security that they wanted. I love that the actors got a lot of the gains that they needed. I'm thrilled things get to go back in, but this is absolute incompetence. This is nothing short of complete and utter incompetence that grown-ass adults sitting in a room could not have come to this deal sooner. And, so I'm kind of ticked off about that. Kris, don't want to make it sound like I'm not happy that the strike's over. I'm totally happy that the strike's over. I just don't see any reason why this should not have been able to end, not immediately, but a lot sooner. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Mint Mobile. Signing your life away to a big wireless provider is kind of like being trapped on a roller coaster from hell. Sure, it looks like fun at first. They probably even threw in a free phone, but now you can't get off. Month after month of insane bills and unexpected thrills, like overages and surprise fees. If that sounds like your current big wireless plan, it's time to get off the ride with Mint Mobile. For a limited time, wireless plans from Mint Mobile are just $15 a month. That's unlimited talk, text, and data for just $15 a month. You guys know before I came to Mint Mobile, I was paying triple what I am paying now on the standard big wireless plan, and I will never go back. All plans come with unlimited talk, text, and high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all your existing contacts. To get your new unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped right to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Cut your wireless bill to just $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea. Anyway, I am thrilled for all the friends that I have who are in SAG that can now start looking forward to going back out on auditions and getting back to work and all this kind of stuff. This has got to be a really good day, not just because you get to get back to work, but SAG had some significant gains as a result of the new contract. How are you feeling about it today?
I'm feeling pretty good. I am with you on, I don't think this needed to be as long. Obviously, I have a slightly different perspective just because of the initial negotiations too of, oh, don't just keep bringing us the same deal. That's why we're giving you these counters that are, okay, well, give us this. If you're going to not move at all, then yeah, give me a share of your profits. Give me this, that, or the other. If you keep bringing me back the same thing, I'm going to try to just do whatever I want. But I'm really glad that we at least ratified that so-called zombie clause. And I do think that a lot of the press that this was getting is one of the reasons why this has been taken care of. I think once people actually heard how AI was going to be used and that it was an existential threat, not just to actors, but to the industry as a whole and to other, tertiary companies, it was, oh, yeah, we can all get on board that this is not okay. So I'm really happy to see everything come together here. Now, right now, what we have, though, is we have to go through a couple different channels. So while work can resume for right now, what's going to happen next is that the negotiating committee is going to meet with our national board. They're going to go through all the ins and outs of everything. Once they approve of things, then it's going to come down to us union members. And we're going to be able to vote on ratifying that contract. And that's when the strike is officially over.
Right.
Now, that voting window is about 2 weeks. So there's going to be a kind of nebulous time where we're working, but things still could turn. However, it's pretty typical that once negotiations have been finalized and that our team is on board with stuff, the national board is on board. The union members typically vote yay on everything too. So this should all be good. I just want to be very clear for everyone too, as they see more news coming out about things being official, that there are just a couple other steps. I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling really optimistic. I'm really excited to go back to, continuing to be an unemployed or underworked actor. And, I got to say, too, to your point earlier about all the other industries that were affected, I'm so lucky because I do commercial voiceovers, because I do industrial voiceovers and the show that, I was able to keep going to restaurants and donating to the entertainment fund and doing things like that. Because a couple people who kind of didn't get it, a few edgelords would say fun things like, guess you got to get a real job now. Why don't you go to waiting tables? Restaurants in LA were closing. That was one of the first things to start losing jobs. Tech jobs. People who are members of IATSE, all these other ones, people were losing their jobs left and right.
And by the way, 90% of the wait staff in all Los Angeles restaurants are actors, by the way. It's just, yeah. It's just, for people who don't live in LA, that's part of the reality.
That's how this works. And so it's really great to see that we'll be able to get back on our feet, but there's still going to be a lot of healing just across the board here. And I'm really looking forward to workers getting back to work. I mean, we have somebody in the chat here who's an IATSE painter, and I'm hoping that they get, some jobs right away. Because I know somebody, again, who's on the executive side of things, who's coordinating, okay, we got to get people in London. We got to get these actors in Atlanta. We got to do this. So work is really revving up. So hopefully all of you incredible IATSE members, all of you incredible folks on the production side, the editing side, all of that, you will be getting to go back to work too soon. So I hope that you've been able to hang in as well, because we're pretty used to not working. You guys are used to working really, really hard constantly. So I hope that this helps you guys out.
Yeah. And of course, I mean, again, somebody brought up to me the other day that, John, this is just a 3-year deal. We could be facing this whole nightmare again in 3 years. It is very, 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 very uncommon for that to happen. Usually once a deal gets done, they are only 3-year deals, but they don't usually reach like the point where they have to start talking about a work stoppage until several cycles have gone by. That's why we haven't had an actor strike in so long. They'll go back to the table, Kris. I mean, they even said, like SAG already said, yeah, we didn't really get what we wanted here, but we're going to try to get more in 3 years. Like, probably not from a work stoppage, but they'll go back to the tables. They'll talk. They'll sign an extension. Both sides will give a little bit. They'll sign an extension. Yeah. And maybe in 6 or 9 years.
We'll have more data on streaming. Yeah.
Yes.
There'll be more stuff for us to kind of discuss then too.
And here's the scary part. The only thing that scares me about the 3 years from now, because everything else should just be standard, and we really shouldn't have to be facing the specter of another strike for at least another 6 or 9 years. But with the rate that AI is evolving, that's the one thing that makes me worried that in 3 years from now, both SAG, because that as AI develops, the studios are going to find some loopholes in whatever agreement there is now, or maybe some realities that simply don't exist right now. And they're going to start using some AI things that either, the union is going to have some legitimate issues with, or that the studio is going to say, hey, something that we restricted in the last deal, it's now just a regular part of life. We want to get this now. I mean, I could see AI becoming an issue in 3 years. As far as everything else, I think they'll work out little details and we won't have to worry about another strike for 6 to 9 years. I don't know. How are you feeling about that?
I mean, it keeps changing and evolving. There was just a really reductive thing in the chat about how AI doesn't whine, at least. Guys, I want to assure you, AI, it's not coming just for my job, okay? In these things, what we all were hoping with, robotics, with AI, with things like that, is they would take jobs that people did not want to have, not artistic endeavors and things like that. But it's going to come down to more, monotonous work. A lot of other things. Delivery services are starting to already be expedited by drones and things. AI is constantly evolving. The way we use it is constantly evolving. People don't hire copywriters anymore. People aren't hiring firms anymore because they're using algorithms and things like that. All other jobs can be affected by this. So maybe today I might be the one who sounds like they're whining, but tomorrow it's going to be you. They're going to come for your job too. So maybe we all just unite as workers and hope that we all can get treated as human beings. That is the reason why, though, we're going to have to keep discussing this, because we are going to have this technology increasing. And it's amazing tech. Don't get me wrong. I think there's a lot of great possibilities here too. But there is a real existential threat that needs to be addressed.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.